Very nice. Fun reviews that get no views. Gives me the blues. Very nice. Down with me and sanity. No reality. Very nice. Sweet and sour. This is our little mess. Very nice. There's very nice. It's time for very nice. Hi kids, it's me, Barry Nice.
And it's me, Piglet.
And today we're going to talk about a very interesting and controversial topic.
Ooh boy, if you actually clicked on this video, I hope we don't upset you too much.
Yeah, well, recently with modern Doctor Who hasn't been,
what's the word?
good as it used to be.
Yeah, let's
And I'm
just put
not
it that
saying Capaldi and Matt Smith was any good, but we all know that
They were a lot better than what we get now.
Yeah.
At least I could join Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi, even when the writing kind of sucked.
You mean always suck.
No, there was a few episodes that are all
A couple clever ones. A couple not so clever ones.
Yeah.
A couple with Banks. And Calabrascus. We're moving on. Our point is, modern Doctor Who is not as good as it used to be. And one of the providing factors of that is our leading lady.
Jodie Whittaker.
Yes. The idea of the 13th Doctor, which was, they tried to be something new and imaginative, and so they made it a woman.
Now, this idea could go perfectly fine, like it did with Missy and the Master. But unfortunately, what my main problem with Jodie Whittaker is, she is identical, almost nearly identical to Matt Smith and Tennant. As if you just combined their characters and you just got Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah, where David Tennant takes his character and as many levels as creative. Matt Smith is just funny all the time and honestly doesn't do much, but at least he's
serious a little.
He gets serious a little, but he yells a lot. But Jodie Whittaker is just like a combination of both of them, and she's a woman, but yet she doesn't act like it. She literally does nothing feminine at all.
If she was a male or change her gender, and it wouldn't matter at all because she just acts like a man anyway.
Yeah, there's
the change was useless.
I know, and don't get mad, but we personally don't like her because how poor she's written, how she doesn't even act like a woman. I mean, at least she's not forced look at me, I'm a woman, that makes me better than you, I'm a girl, yeah. But no, she doesn't do that, she doesn't even act, she doesn't even acknowledge the fact that she is a girl.
In the first few episodes, they didn't even really do anything with her being a woman.
The topic of regeneration was not even a subject in the first episode. They're just battling the alien, going on with the space race.
I regenerated, and now I'm gonna act like I don't know who I am for the whole so far of the season.
Act like a confused mess.
Killer Rags!
Ooh.
The space race!
Yay.
The great space race!
Yay, my fail. Kill the killer spider.
And the killer spiders with the Donald Trump guy.
But, more importantly, Jodie Whittaker herself isn't even that good. She's very nasally and painful, and
just don't find it entertaining anymore.
Bad writing mixed with, don't get mad, but bad acting.
I don't find her acting very good. I honestly just find it annoying, and I'm heavily reminded of our annoying chorus teacher, or who we used to have.
Our new one is really nice.
But our old one was like Jodie Whittaker, and it was horrible.
Yeah. So in this video, we're gonna talk about, seeing as she's due to regenerate soon, who should play.
Or at least hopefully soon. I mean,
probably gonna be 2 years.
Yeah,
but a season, but it takes them 3 years.
The next season is I don't really know if it's been put on pause or what with the pandemic and all. They made Revolution of the Daleks, and then they kind of stopped.
But we're gonna talk about in this video who should play the 14th Doctor,
or maybe who should have played the 13th Doctor.
Yes,
yeah, take it whatever way you want.
Mm-hmm. We have 14 candidates, of course, for this video.
It's actually 15, but we combined 2 people.
Yeah, so I guess.
Now these people on the list, some of them you may never have heard of, or you may have heard of them in them Really? Well, I don't really care. See, these are our
Yeah.
people, not your people you want. Have your
Yeah.
own list. This is our list. Like, I didn't like look up who people want to play for each
No, we don't
doctor.
care about the popular opinion. The popular opinion is lame. You can get that anywhere. You're getting our unique opinion that you can't find anywhere else on
Besides
YouTube.
Michael Sheen, I think everyone wants him to be it.
Yeah, but it's no problem. Now, we're saying all this in speculation. It's probably just gonna be another woman who showed up in that other episode, which is going to be, a painful ride that no one will enjoy.
Besides, there's always the people who will just love it anyways.
Yeah. Now, I guess we should get going on the list, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, we're gonna start. Now, first we have combined two people into one, because...
That's right.
Why not? So, we have Ben Wilbound and Larry Lewin.
That's if we pronounce these people's names wrong, we're sorry. We may not know how to officially pronounce some of these people's names correctly. So
Yeah. So,
you may recognize these people from shows like
Horrible
Horrible
Histories.
Histories, or maybe even Doctor Who, because
Yeah.
Larry Lewin was in Doctor Who playing one of the cactus aliens. I don't remember the name, but
Yes.
whatever. So, the Horrible Histories cast,
Are all very talented individuals.
and I always thought while watching it, these people could make a pretty good doctor. So I thought we chose some members of their cast, decided to put them on the list. And
Yeah.
Larry Lewin is already familiar with Doctor Who, so maybe he'd be a little head start or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some may consider some of these people on the list a little bit of filler, and they're not exactly filler.
And don't think just because, they were in Horrible Histories, they're like comedians or something. They can't be in
Matt
serious
Smith
stuff.
was more of a comedian than anything else, if you
Yeah.
think about it. So
So that's why these two should maybe be it, if you understand.
yeah. As
Yeah.
the list goes, I would not say the first group of people who are the people they could do it. But then there's the final five, the people these are the people who should
They were born
do it.
to do it.
So let's move on.
Moving on.
All right, next we got Jim Howick. He's another guy from Horrible Histories. Yeah,
I think he's won a lot of comedian awards.
I
hasn't
believe
he?
he has won
Like,
quite a bit of comedian awards, and I do believe Horrible Histories helped him to gain some of those awards.
Yeah.
Why, you may ask if he be it? Well, just like those other men, we are a strong believer the Horrible Histories cast could all pretty much pull off
Do it all,
the role
do it
as a
just
doctor.
fine because they're good at acting and they're
Yeah, but
comedians.
if you've ever actually seen Horrible Histories, you see these men.
or born to do this, so I think that's why they should do it, and each one of them is different.
Each one of them plays
each
historical figures a certain way
So,
and does it.
Each one could do a
perfectly.
different doctor a different way, just
Mhm.
like Jim Howick could do it really special.
And it's funny and
Yeah.
maybe, but unlike Whittaker, who's a combination of Matt Smith and David Tennant, what I think they were doing something new with each doctor, kind of Eccleston, fresh out of the Time War. Well, I guess I don't really know how the War Doctor fits in there, but
no one knows.
I think he just regenerated into him, and then Tennant, he's new, he's still trying to figure himself out. Then he's got a bit of Eccleston in there, but he's his own special way.
Tennant and
Matt's-
Eccleston do act kind of similar because Tennant and Eccleston
Yeah.
are pretty much the same show. You think about it, Doctor Who is really kind of three shows, technically. There's Tennant and Eccleston, Russell T Davies, then the good
Matt-
stuff left, and
Matt
with
Smith
the
and Capaldi.
Then the bad stuff arrived with Stuart Moffat. Then the bad stuff left. Then the really bad stuff
came
arrived with Chris Kimball. And this stuff.
Kimball. Oh yes, Christopher Kimball.
You are aware Chris Kimball isn't the only Chris Kimball out there, right?
No, there's another.
There's another, much more well-known and successful Chris Kimball. You may recognize him.
So next we have how do we say that? His name?
Lawrence Richard. Lawrence Richard is, yet again, another man for Horrible Histories.
No surprise here.
All these men have been in other things by his Horrible Histories. They're mainly known for Horrible Histories. Now, reasons why Lawrence Richard should be, the next one is because, well, obviously, he's good at acting. He's in Horrible Histories. He's, not just a comedian, but the comedian role can be extended. He can play, different people,
I
back
think he'd be good in
history.
a role that an informational type of doctor. He knows
Yeah.
everything. He's trying to tell people, but nobody listens to him, and nobody likes him.
Yeah, like he could do that.
Kind of like a news reporter.
Like a news reporter or something. He can talk, like, where he talks really quickly, like Tenet, but he can, like, keep going on and on and on, but like, it doesn't get dragged out in a way, but yet...
Like it does with Whittaker.
Or
like where Whittaker just has a random spasm, just it's like, oh, I remember when I did so-and-so and so-and-so with somebody and so-and-so. Like every episode.
He would actually say it, but it would like, he'd say it slowly, he wouldn't be annoying on it, he'd say it like he was reporting the news, and that would sound good and make sense. It would actually be like someone who has experienced history and not someone who got
it's like a joke.
Like it's a joke, they got high while doing it and they're remembering it as they have a hangover. Okay,
Yeah.
Next
we have Matt Baton. Whoa, what do you know? He's also from Horrible Histories and stuff. So you're seeing a recurring
qualifications are he's obviously good at acting. He can obviously portray people with different art history. He's like a comedian, but you know, just because they're comedians doesn't mean that they're good.
Yeah.
Like, Matthew Baton, I think, could do a good job because he's like, I
would
would
say
say
a combination of like Matt and Tenet a little, but then like
he kind of looks like them. I would say he's like young, but then again, I don't know actually how. Maybe he was young in Horrible Cities. I don't actually know how old he is now, but I feel like he could do like a good job of like being like young-ish, but when he's not actually young, when he could be like a cat who like likes to party or something like
kind of like Matt Smith, but then again, when it gets down to it, he's more like Tenet because like unlike Matt Smith, who still retains a lot of his happy-go-lucky stuff, even when things disappear. Matt Smith really only starts yelling when things get really bad, I think. But like
he cries a lot though.
I think he would do I think he'd just get like mad, like right then there, like be able to solve problems quicker, and maybe he'd be attached to people, but not as well. Honestly, I don't really know how attached. I mean, Matt was pretty attached to Amy, but when it came down to it, he didn't give a shit about Rory. So you know, next we're having who was it?
Simon.
Next we have Simon Farnaby. I'm not saying his last name right at all. Farnaby.
So who's this guy? This is our last Horrible Histories person. Don't worry.
Now he's another one of the men from Horrible Histories. So again, he's obviously good at acting. He's good at playing comedians. So also,
he's on Star Wars. If you didn't know,
he's in Rogue One only for like a minute though.
No, only for like a second.
He has a line, which is really sad, but he's there. Now, reasons he could play the 14th is because, well, obviously he's skilled. Like, all these people could do it in like a funny way, but he could do it in like
another way, more like a
not like a funny approach, but like an
Eggleston approach, maybe. Like
like an Eggleston approach.
He can be funny,
a person who's
funny,
mad, but he's mad. He's a person who's all there. Like, he's always reacting to everything, not always in a funny way, but he like exists. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just like he's always active, like Eggleston, but not like Eggleston's always laughing and being funny. No, Eggleston's always doing something. He would also always be doing something. He'd be intensely like doing.
Not like Matt Smith, where it's meant for like maybe 8-year-olds to laugh.
Who's always just cracking jokes and crying, but like this guy Simon could like be like an Eggleston-ish kind of take to it, if you understand our logic.
Yes, but they probably don't, even though no one will watch this video.
Okay.
Actually, the last Very Nice we made, the Duolingo characters explained. I don't know how, but thank the Lord and saints be praised, somehow it has like 700 views. So you watch that and you're watching this. I just want to say thanks.
Okay.
Alright, let's move on. Who's next? I don't know. We'll figure it out next.
Okay, next might be a little random, but why not? We're doing Joseph Garrett. Now, you might not know who that is, so he's Stampy Cat, the YouTuber. A lot of people don't know his real name.
Stampy Cashew, the 14th Doctor. Why?
Because he would be good with the children. I'm sure.
Kind of like Matt, but
he's kind of like Matt Smith, young, but then again, I think children all over the world would at least recognize his voice and recognize him as, he's the guy from YouTube. And that would get a lot of younger viewers into the show.
Yeah. Especially when right now the ratings are so low, record low right now.
They need Joseph Garrett to be on the show so they can get so many children in the show, and they'll get into it and they'll keep watching it, and all because Joseph Garrett was in it. I'm sure Joseph Garrett could still do a good job acting, and I'm sure he'd be just fine.
But, like, looking at it from a financial point of view, getting a celebrity, especially one who's good with the kids right now, would be really good for the show, and something the show could really need right now at its critical and financial low.
Yes.
Alright, we got one more just, like, average person, then we're gonna get into the real big boys who should be it.
Yeah. Before we move on, when you look up Joseph Garrett, this picture comes up of this man. We don't know who he is, but he's definitely not Joseph Garrett. I don't know who he is with his, like, buff body. He kind of looks like what Keegan Joyce wants to be, like the hair, the face, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Anywho, now let's get back to the actual stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Bean. We have Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson. Rowan Atkinson.
What? I mean, I don't know. Isn't it a little obvious?
Well,
why?
I feel like it's kind of obvious. Now you might think, oh, another comedian. No! Comedians can play serious roles. Comedians don't just play comedic roles.
People.
Rowan could play a serious character who was sometimes funny, but he was serious. I think if he was always funny, that would be really uncreative.
Yeah.
I think if he just acted like a normal and his average stuff, if he did Zazu, I think instead of doing a Bean, if he did like a Zazu performance but like live action, I think that would really work.
Yeah, a lot of cards going bad right now.
A lot of like Zazu, that would really sound good. Of course, Bean's already been in Doctor Who. He's in that one like comic relief thing, which
made by Stephen Moffat.
show that 19 minutes of pure Stephen Moffat just is Moffat-ish just stuff. So that's why Rowan should do it. Next we have the tops.
These are the people who we really want to be it, or honestly should have been just the 13th Doctor.
Okay, now we're on to like the top 6, the people that really should be it.
Yeah.
Now, first we have Harry Lloyd.
You may recognize him. Do you recognize him? You should recognize him.
He was also in Doctor Who.
Son of mine.
He was son of mine for Doctor Who. Now, obviously, he speaks for himself. Really, one of the best characters in the whole show, portrayed by one of the best actors the whole world has ever seen. So, obviously, that qualifies him. I feel like with his, like, literal acting from heaven, I think that he would play the next Doctor, like... Of course he is.
He could be like, am I like villainous Doctor?
A villain. We've never had a Doctor who's like kind of evil-ish.
Well,
Colin Baker
it's got
was...
more just like, nah.
I feel like if we got like a Doctor who wasn't like evil, but he was conniving and like villainous, that would really work. And Harry Lloyd could do that just fine. He could
do it perfectly.
He could overact, but not overact. His acting would work so well. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't be too funny.
Maybe
and
he have to learn how to deal with his anger, and by the end of like the first season, he could have learned how to
not be so angry. And then he could be like angry, but then he could be like funny, but not like Matt Smith. Like all he is funny. But like his acting would be so good that it would turn out for like kind of funny, like in like The Family of Blood. Like that's why he would make such a good 14th Doctor.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's next? Oh gosh, it's John Hutcherson.
Okay. Next we have Josh Hutcherson. Now you may recognize him. Yeah, he plays Peter from the Hunger Games. So why would he make
you
a
might
good
think,
Doctor?
But he can't do it. He's American. You know what? I think if they would have an American actor like Josh do it, I think they could do it really well. Like he's young, but he's not too. By this point, he's not too young.
Yeah, not too young.
He's already proven himself to be like good at acting. He could be sad. He could be like.
I think he'd be a good like sad Doctor who's always trying to get happy, but then he just can't get happy. They haven't done a character like that. Atkinson was kind of like that, only a little though.
Yeah, he was all. Atkinson was kind of, but like, I feel like. But he was happy though. But the good Hutcherson is Josh could do like he's trying to get happy. Like Peter's always trying to be happy, but yet he just despite what
he's always just trying to he always puts himself before others, trying to please others. But like he could always like put his life before like all the people he has to save. And like no one thanks him.
It keeps putting him more and more down, and it could become really tragic. And then like in the climax, he could like get like really mad but not like a Matt Smith style Mad, where he's just like screaming some random speech for literally like 10 minutes straight, and then he goes and like guards some random tomb for like 2 million years. No, he'd like actually do something impactful, and then he wouldn't go guard a tomb for 2 million years. He'd just get on the TARDIS and fly away.
Well, Rory actually guards the tomb for 2,000
Whatever, you don't have to make your characters sit around for like millions of years doing nothing to make them be like special.
Yeah, unfortunately,
like,
Stephen
strong,
Moffat kind of had this thing where like he made people wait. Capaldi and the Confession Dial had to wait like 3 billion years.
That is so stupid.
Like, you don't have to just make people wait a long time to make them developed. There is other ways of doing things and making characters developed and more intense than just making them sit somewhere and do something for like 3 gazillion years. There's more to characters than just making them do something for so long, Moffat.
Exactly.
Okay. So who's next? I know who's next.
Next is Brad Drow, if we're not saying that name correctly. Now, hopefully you've heard of him. You know, the guy who played Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings. He's been in a lot of, like, horror movies, and
He voice acts Chucky.
I was
the horror doll.
I was always under the illusion that Mark Hamill did it, but I guess maybe they, like, just really sound the same.
I don't know. So, why could he be it? Well, once again, it'd be interesting to have a more, like, conniving doctor. Like, a He could do, like, a more, like, conniving, suspicious doctor. And I know people didn't really like it back in the 80s with Colin Baker, but honestly, that was also due to the fact that, well, in the 80s, no one really liked Doctor Who, and they just wanted to get it off the air,
Yeah.
so... But with this, maybe now people would be more open. At least I hope.
Yeah.
At least we could have, like, an interesting new personality to our doctor. See, Jodie Whittaker really doesn't have a new personality.
She's nothing new.
She's just Tennant and Matt, really.
What Brad could do is, he could be, like,
Suspicious.
Like, you don't trust him as, well...
You don't trust him as, like, the hero you
Is
always
he really the hero? But yet we know he's going to be a hero, but when it comes down to it, is he actually going to be the hero? He could be more like not like a dark one, like, oh, the War Doctor is so sad and dark. No, not like that.
Not like conniving,
stupid.
like...
More like
Is
conniving.
he actually gonna do the good thing in the end, or not?
More like cobwebs and such, like wearing black
make
outfit.
people question,
That
like, are
kind
you
of
really gonna
dark.
be, like, the good guy in the end, or not? Because that'd be a lot more interesting than just, like, oh, Jodie Whittaker, I taught you the high-pitched voice, and I know everything and make you laugh. That gets boring after a while. I know some people really like that, but unfortunately, it bores after a while.
Yes.
Alright, so who's next? Someone really good is next. We're just gonna play his theme song, and that may be all we'll do to explain to you why he should be it.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
So this should kind of speak for itself.
This isn't a joke, I swear.
And this is Bill Nye. I think everyone, it's kind of gone around that Bill Nye really should be the next one. He's already been in a Doctor Who episode, so I feel like he could,
He was?
in the Vincent van Gogh episode. Remember, he was the guy running the art museum.
That was Bill Nye? I did not know that.
Yeah, Bill Nye had a lot of makeup, but the thing is, Bill Nye could really do it again, and I think he could do a really good job. He could take could take his own approach, his own intelligent approach,
Yeah.
not like a funny approach.
It's kind of funny, but he's like smart at the
He's
same
like
time.
a smart, funny guy who's like a hosting. He's telling you. He's not just blabbering on about some garbage that he doesn't even understand, that he's just like reading at 1,000,000 miles per hour. Then he goes and cries and sits down for 2 million years to like just wait. No, he would actually get stuff
Or starts
done.
talking about when he was like met some historical figure for literally no reason at all.
Yeah, he could actually do it like properly and importantly, and he would do a good job too. So I think that Bill will also be recognizable by a lot of people.
That could maybe bring in some more viewers in this
Yeah.
time of in this troubled time for the show, you know?
So that's why Bill should really do it. And I think other people.
Honestly, I think
too
Weird
are
Al
talking
could
about
do it, probably.
Yeah, we just didn't have enough room here for him on the list, unfortunately.
Okay, so the next 3 people are like
They are the ones. They
they're, like,
should
the
be.
one. So like they should be like everybody else in the story's like, yeah, they should be, and then but like these people are like, they really should be. So why don't you just sit back and watch?
Safety glasses off, motherfuckers.
Right, now these are the people who should like these are like the
Really be
big
it.
boys.
So now we've got first. Wow, this is our first woman on the list. For once, we actually think that there could be a decent female out there who could be a decent 14th Doctor.
Yeah, we got.
Now, we're not saying that good females can't be doctors. No, they could be. I mean, as long as they're written correctly.
And their characters are something new.
Yeah.
Such as Jodie Whittaker, like we've said, isn't anything new. Okay, so this woman's name is
Evanna Lynch.
I think.
I think. Now, she's, Luna Lovegood.
That's
from
about it, honestly, I'm
Barry
pretty
and
sure.
Piglet. So, I think she'd be really qualified for the
Yeah,
position.
pretty
She's already
qualified.
proven herself as a good actor, and I think she'd be a good
Actress.
female, actress
Like
to
someone,
portray it.
well, like someone who could play someone new. Like, my problem is with Jodie Whittaker. There's nothing new about her. Maybe Evanna Lynch.
She could be like the
do, like,
quirky kind of doctor,
and like a
she's
held back one.
like
who,
held
like,
back and quirky. She
like kind of doesn't really care. Unlike Jodie Whittaker, who's not held back, who's just like there.
she's like I'm Jodie Whittaker. I'm a woman. Look at me.
Actually, she's not really well. She doesn't really say that, honestly.
Yeah.
She's more or less just like, I'm Jodie Whittaker, look at me.
Whatever.
Maybe
Evanna Lynch
could like
be
actually embrace being a
interesting.
woman a little and like
Yeah.
if we're gonna have it be a woman, maybe we should actually do something with it being a
Make
woman.
her act feminine.
Because all the
Don't
episodes
make her like run down the street screaming, "Look at me, I'm a woman." Make her like do something. Like make her like I don't know, like
oh, like actually like where Jodie Whittaker doesn't like they're never brought up her really being a woman. Maybe like just be like I don't know, like a woman. Okay,
Yeah.
but like so I don't
Yeah.
like maybe do some feminine things, but don't throw it too much in your face. Like Tennant and Eggleston and Matt, they were like masculine, but they didn't go running down the street saying I'm a man. And Jodie Whittaker doesn't do that either. But then again, I honestly, if you were to tell me she's a woman, well, she doesn't really do anything to show it. So I think Evanna Lynch could do a pretty good, just like.
Also, Evanna Lynch should have probably just been
Yes.
the 13th
Oh,
Doctor.
it should have just been.
I
Then
don't
we could have
know
at least
why
had something
she
to get us
doesn't.
through.
She literally, like, she could have done way better than Jodie Whittaker. Like,
Yeah. Alright, so just like a good held back doctor, like something new.
quirky.
So that's about it. Next we got like this man may be like the only person on the list who other people actually want to be the 14th Doctor, so let's get ready for him. Next is Michael Sheen.
So yeah,
Surprised?
other people out there actually want Michael Sheen to be the 4th Doctor. I'm surprised. There are a couple of people out there who want him to
I think
be.
a lot of people.
Because obviously he proved himself in like in Good Omens with Tennant.
And the less I even mention the
Twilight
highlight movies.
So obviously he's a very good actor, so we all know he's good.
Yes.
But we all know he could portray a Doctor who like character
kind of
because
silly. Kind of silly.
Good Omens is a very Doctor Who like show.
Yes,
so,
it is.
So like I feel like he could do a very good job, being the 14th Doctor.
He's kind of silly, but then he's like sternish.
He's serious about it.
Not
He's
as
silly.
funny as
He's not like
Smith.
Matt Smith running around waving his arms, showing people his bow tie, but he's like silly, but not like he's not aggressively silly like Matt Smith.
He's just like kind of silly. Like,
His
when
jokes are like subtle, come out like takes you a minute,
oh my god.
and then like, oh, that was actually really funny. Not like Matt Smith's like, I just said a joke, laugh at it. Why aren't you laughing? You're not laughing.
Then
Keep
Amy
laughing,
starts
laugh,
laughing,
laugh,
and then Rory like
Yeah,
sighs,
miserably, and,
zooms in on Rory's like sad, miserable, kill me face.
And then that turns out to be the funny part. Not Rory's misery turns out to be funny, and not actually the joke.
And so
Wow.
Michael Sheen, he could do it. And then
We talked a lot about Roy and Amy in this video.
yes, we have. No, be quiet. So
I won't bother
Sheen could
resisting
then
anymore.
in the moment, this is the moment. He could actually get like stern and mad. Like Matt Smith, yeah, like he can get mad. He likes to scream, but then maybe he just he gets mad and not like screaming. It's like stern, like I'm mad, but like I'm kind of like holding it back, holding it inside, like I'm mad, like throwing a little fit to myself madish. But then like when it gets down to it, he'll just do like the right thing, get the right thing done. So like, yeah, okay. So the next man is our number one man. He's our number one person.
He is the guy who he won't be the next one. It's gonna be that woman, but he should be the 14th Doctor.
Yes. And his name, you'll have to wait and see.
So, number 1 is Sean Evans. I won't be surprised if you might not know who he is. I mean, if you don't, you're pretty uncultured.
So Sean Evans, he's a guy. He's a very, very good actor. Hey, how about before we keep talking, just listen. Just listen to
his
this.
fellow actors think of him.
I love working with Sean. I really do. He's such a lovely fella.
He's a shining example to younger actors who come on this and it's their first job.
He's like the kid at school who said, "You can come sit at my table for lunch," and instantly made you feel like you had a place there. He's just wonderful, and he was wonderful to me, and he was wonderful to Lewis.
You know, I definitely look up to Sean, and there are times in scenes when the camera's not on me where I just kind of come out of it and just watch Sean and think, brilliant.
Obviously, quite a few other people highly admire Sean Evans, and he's greatly respected by his fellow actors. Now, you don't know, Sean Evans is the man who plays Inspector Morse from the new Inspector Morse show.
Endeavor.
But
I never actually say its name.
I don't know.
weird.
It's really weird. It says because no one actually calls him that. Everyone just calls him Morse.
And so, why? Well, if you've never actually watched the show, it's on Amazon Prime. I suggest you get your... You better watch it.
Get your uncultured ass over there and become cultured.
And watch it.
But the thing is, Sean Evans is a perfect actor for so many reasons. He was born to play this role.
And he's born to play the 14th
Yeah,
Doctor.
you can be like funny, like, oh, Matt Smith is so
He can
funny.
be everything, honestly. Like in this show,
No, I'm
he's
saying
almost everything.
Matt Smith is funny. Oh
Yes,
wow,
he is.
all he does is funny. But
Yes.
it's harder to play a serious character than a funny
It
character,
is.
and that's what Sean Evans can do. He can play a serious doctor, not like, oh, the War Doctor is so fuck the War Doctor, for heaven's sakes.
Whoa.
Literally.
Whoa.
Get rid of him.
Whoa.
Enough. What he can do is, it's not like, oh, Capaldi. No, I don't actually have anything against Capaldi. Capaldi's honestly just fine. But the thing is, Sean Evans could do a good job. He could be serious. He could be lightheartedly funny. He could do anything right. He'd just do it right. Sean Evans could do anything, and he'd still do it just fine.
Like, if you've never actually seen him acting, you need to, because he is really
you might think,
good.
oh, he's so young. Sean Evans is like 40 years old. He's almost halfway to the grave. He's not a kid
So
anymore.
Sean, he's just I don't want to say no one is perfect, but honestly, I think Sean
Evans is
perfect for the role.
Literally, the 14th Doctor. He fits it perfectly.
He could literally act it so well. He could do it so well. And like we needed him to be not stern. Well, I guess what? He can also be funny. So yes, Sean Evans, a man you may never have heard of,
should be the next 14th Doctor.
That's why he's perfect for the role. Literally perfect. Honestly, the best way to tell you he's just so good for it, just go watch Endeavor. Just go watch it. Alright, so I guess we're done here. So we're gonna come out in the flesh to say goodbye. So let's just do that quick.
Who's this?
I don't know who is this.
Hi, guys.
Who are you?
You know me, your friendly, average day, everyday Triceratops. It's me, Norris, the Dinosaurus.
I hate dinosaurs.
I hate dinosaurs.
Get out of here. Shoo, scramble.
You'll all pay one day. When the meteor comes, the earth will burn and we will all die. With those that are the reference tables will be saved, and salvation will cream as the land becomes froth and pudding. Get out of my way.
You know, I'm getting sick and tired of people coming on our show and ruining it. Like, why can't we just talk about, why can't we just make fun reviews that get no views without interruptions? Miss Upton is show up in this one.
Yeah, Miss Puff, this guy.
Baby Kermit.
Oh yeah,
Torrini,
Simba.
Simba.
Alright, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
So that was
I hope you enjoyed our video. I hope you enjoyed our
those
opinions.
are the
If you
people that
didn't,
should be the 14th Doctor.
now don't
Maybe
get too
Shaun
mad
Evans.
in the the comments and go like, oh, I disagree with your young man. You can say that, but if you do, can you use some nice language
Or can
and
you
nice
explain
words?
why you disagree?
Nice words, nice language. Don't be just mean. No one will watch this video anyways. So
Yeah, so
yeah.
remember to subscribe for more. If you subscribe to us, we'll subscribe back to you as long as you're enough. I give you some longer tell us subscribe to us. You need to tell into the comment section saying and you subscribe.
Yes.
And if you couldn't understand what I just said, listen to it a few times.
Okay, so if anyone on our list actually does become the 14th Doctor by some miracle chance, maybe we'll have to do something special. Or like have a big party on the channel.
Parties with